Yo, 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 Chris, Asaf, hello, Yetzi
Whoa,
in the
hey.
Netherlands, hey, Alpha in Tucson, Ahmed in Tripoli, to be conscious in Denmark, Mihaela in Romania, Lynn in Vermont, oh my gosh, Julie in Salt Lake, and everybody else around the planet and the universe who has tuned in. Great to be here again, guys and gals, and everybody
Hello.
else.
Yeah.
Michelle from California, yeah. So, the world. Some days, some weeks, it's like a slow news week, and other times it is just relentless.
That
Relentless.
world.
Yeah, that world. It's just relentless what's going on. And, there is on the one hand, it could be a super simple explanation. Listen, and I heard this, somebody said this to me this week. Listen, there's never been a time where people have just, everyone's had a phone in their pocket, a camera in their pocket. There's
hmm
always been things going on. The only difference is now just, you're just seeing it all. So
Hmm.
that doesn't really,
hmm Yeah,
it's
I don't.
true.
I
It's
that
true,
is
but
true, and yet it's not the whole picture. Changes are
yeah,
also
because
happening faster in every area. Yeah.
yeah, so of course everything is happening faster, but this phenomenon that everyone has something in their pocket, a camera in their pocket. If a protest happened in
Yeah.
Honduras in the 1980s and nobody knew about it and it passes without making an
Yeah.
emotional impact on millions or billions of people, but the fact that everything has a camera on it, everything is registering both like in our individual consciousness and also in this kind of collective
And,
consciousness.
and I
And
would say that even the fact that we each have a camera and phone and the spread of information, that itself speeds up events as well. Just like in any system, biological systems too, information flow also is responsible for more reactions and chain reactions and so on. So that whole idea of like everything is the same, we're just now seeing it because we have phones in our cameras in our phones. That's really just
everybody
just a
who's probably older
fragment.
than 25 or 30 years old can remember probably being in the back of their parents' car and just, it's like, traffic light. I mean, like street light, traffic, just bored, just nothing to do,
It was
just
a lot
time or
slower,
sitting. Yeah,
you know.
exactly. Sitting in math class just for 40 years waiting for that like minute hand to like move 45 minutes, right? Everything was just slow and so much boredom. And today it's like there is not a second. There's no empty second because as soon as you have an empty second,
hmm
you just fill it with like the best possible
It's
content you
so
can.
exhausting too, isn't it?
But there's the time is just very fast. There's so many things that are making everything
Yeah.
happen so fast. Anyway, guys, Kabbalah to the rescue. Here we are on the
Oh,
great transition. Three students of the wisdom of Kabbalah, students of a great Kabbalist, Dr. Mike Lightman. He is our teacher. We are studying every day the structure of reality, what is going on, the transformation we're going through, where is this all going? And our job here is to talk about it in light of what we see with our eyes, with our feet on the earth, uh,
Yeah.
through through that lens. So welcome everybody to the great
hmm
transition. Super happy to have you here. I see also Jensen. Wow, Jensen went in hiding, but I saw him this week in our Paticha class, and I see that he's here also. Hello, Jensen in Rochester and Rex in Toronto,
Sub
and
Dub
the
from Dallas. The
Dini
man, the
Alahi
Mancini is here.
in
Yeah.
Miwok County, yes, and just curious from Colorado, and Annie Kurtz from North Carolina, and hello, Patricia. And the dub. Did you say the dub already? The dub from
Yes.
Dallas?
The
Okay.
Dub from
So, and
Dallas.
also, by the
Right.
way, everyone, we're really interested in in speaking about what interests you. So, if there's stories, if there's things that you'd like to hear us talk about, things you want to know, what does the wisdom of Kabbalah have to say? I noticed this happening in life and it's bothering me, or I noticed this happening in life and it's interesting to me, or it's confusing to me, or I found something that I think really seems like something's going on there. Put it in one of these comment sections. We always check the comments for the couple of days after the show, and we would like to hear from you. What's on your heart?
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
connect. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, let's do this. Let's share a few things that we've been seeing over the last week or so. All of these transformations, things that people are capturing on their phones. Let's show them, and then let's bring Kabbalah to the rescue and look behind the curtain, see what's going on there.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
I can start.
Go for it.
Please.
Okay, so let me start with this one. I'll try and outdo you guys. You can go next, but I got a few good ones. So Brazil, economically and politically, well, I guess it's subjective, but you could say it's one of the one of the most important countries in South America. It's not like a personal judgment, but you could take all of Europe twice and fit it inside of Brazil. Brazil's bigger than the U.S. It's full of ore. It's full of like ore, meaning like natural. By the way, one day we should do a show. If you were to take Africa and South America and like cut out the ocean in between them and move them together like puzzle pieces, they fit together very, very nicely.
Of course, because they were they were one.
Don't give away too much. We could talk about it more. But it's just be a really good interest. It would be a really fun thing to talk about, because most of the great stuff that we get to make our life work comes from the southern hemisphere, and then it's like imported into the northern hemisphere, into Europe and the US to make civilization happen. But anyway, really interesting. So a lot of great stuff that everybody needs to live comes from Brazil, also Africa. But we're talking about Brazil now because they just had a presidential election. And who won the presidential election? A guy who was just in jail. And he was released from jail, and he won the election. And it's no surprise that politicians, probably all of them, are crooks or something, in the den of, at least surrounded by crooks, if they themselves are not totally crooked. But huge protests are taking place in Brazil right now, saying that the election was stolen. Protests in the streets. The protesters even made it into the residence of the president of Brazil.
But wait, the guy who was in jail, that's what they're protesting, that he didn't get elected or did get elected?
No. Guy's name was Lula. He was in jail, and then he was released from jail and became president. So there's a lot of people in the street, as you can see here.
This is a protest? What are we seeing here?
This is and it's not that. What's interesting, and the same thing about the protest on January 6th 2 years ago in the U.S., it's not people with guns storming. It's you look at this one also. This is inside the residence of the president of Brazil. But
it's like the new thing.
They're not going around shooting everyone. Is women, right? A lot of women there as well.
Yeah.
Women and men. Mostly people taking Well, here they
Oh wow! It's very. It really is reminiscent of January 6th in the U.S.
Yeah.
Did they do it on purpose on January 6th?
It really looks like like a copycat thing. I don't like a replica.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same vibe to it. Yeah.
I just got a deja vu thing all of a sudden. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's happening exactly. Well, that's the thing. So in the U.S., if anyone wasn't going to talk about the story, but people say the election here was stolen, and they went into the streets and they stormed the Capitol and got into the Capitol, which is crazy, with the amount of billions of dollars spent on military and protecting the capital of the United States. That people could just get inside is pretty weird. But something like this happened just now in Brazil as well. So that's it's pretty
makes you think.
Makes you think. Yeah, it makes you think.
Well, you see all those people like out on the streets. First of all, it's not. If you say, "Hey, what do you want to go do today?" It's thinking about like what I want to go eat, what I want to pick up, how I want to like spend my free time, right? But if you have something that's really pressing in a country and it doesn't let you feel calm, that kind of takes the calmness away from you. You have people now in a country where they're not calm, so it's hard to already identify with it. I'm like relatively in a calm state. If I live in a country where people are not happy, then I kind of feel that. And so instead of sitting and watching TV, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna go like walk around, but it's just a completely different. Yeah. It really is like night and day kind of lifestyle of a person who's living a normal life, who's going about their routine, versus someone who feels like they've got to like go fix the country they live in. Yeah.
By the way, it reminds me of just seeing these pictures for a second. Reminds me of, when was it, like 12 years ago, I want to say, 10, 12 years. And Arab Spring, that kind of,
Yes.
time,
Yeah. Right.
Zuccotti Park, like that kind of thing. There was all of
Yeah.
these protests, like, like blazing through the continents, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
interesting. It's interesting, humanity as a global species, when we're looking at things that happen and they seem similar, it's like stampedes in almost, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like currents in the ocean that are like moving
Yeah.
through human society, rippling through the human network. That's kind of how it feels like.
Like contagious. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, there's something to that. And talking about like everyone has a phone and cameras and everything's on social media, that I'm sure contributes to the contagiousness, the infectiousness of social phenomena. Anyways,
For sure.
yeah. Anyway, makes you think. Yeah, what else is happening? What else is happening, guys?
You want me to keep going?
Yeah, I guess
You want to
shoot
show
it, shoot
something?
them
You have
if you
more?
have
You
them.
have more
Yeah,
than shows more.
Yeah. So this is weird. So there's a phenomenon. There's a hashtag on Twitter called "died suddenly." Look at this. There are people just dropping.
Oh no! So we talk. Oh my God,
Yeah. Now it
that
could be
that
that
looks
people were
so
always
weird.
dropping, but now it's just I don't know. Everyone has a camera or something
Well,
like
oh,
that.
this is like a compilation of it. Okay, I never saw these. I only saw one or two.
So if this
This,
is all happening that was caught on
Yeah. Is this
camera,
recent? Is this
imagine
recent? That's kind of the
this is
question.
all
wow,
very
people,
recent. And
and
this is
it's
all
and this is like wait. So people are collapsing, and this is just the things that are caught on camera.
right. I
So
mean, yeah, yeah. There's
so
all kind
okay,
of
so
athletes that it's happening to as well.
oh, right. There was some headline about. Well, I see that it's not just athletes here, but there was a headline about athletes, that this is happening across among many athletes specifically, and that maybe it has to do with
News
with
Nightline. Brought to you.
okay. Wow.
Dang, there's no heads up almost, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's pretty
Oh wow,
yeah.
dangerous.
that's so
So
scary.
what?
Yeah.
Right. So people are linking it to the vaccine or to this. We are not here to make any judgment call. That's not our job. Our job is to not be pro-vaccine, against vaccine. We're looking at what's going on.
I was just observing facts. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like it happened once. Is
It's a
I'm showing
phenomenon.
here.
It's a
Definitely a
phenomenon.
trend. Yeah, it's a
It's a
pattern. Yeah,
phenomenon,
yeah.
and as a humanity, we need to kind of figure out what's happening, or at least pay attention.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I'm looking at that right now, and I'm thinking like, I, could happen to me, you know? Could happen to you. And
Yeah.
then what do you then you're no closer. Just one day you could just all of a sudden fall over. I mean, you're gonna want to know what's going on and why.
Yeah. I think that's what goes through everyone's head, at least at some point when they see these videos, because it's so sudden,
What
right?
is what
That,
goes through
hey,
people's
that
heads?
could have been someone I know, or even me.
So what's interesting is the kind of official response is that these are just coincidences, or there's no official response that maybe this is connected, that there's some what we're trying to do always, basically our whole job is to see how everything is connected. What they're trying to do is say, no, these are all isolated incidents, there's nothing to see here.
Oh, there's one particular thing to blame, and that's what needs to be dealt with, right? Yeah, it's not a holistic approach, you could say.
So
Okay, how about we switch gears here to another area of development, of human development, which is technology. because this is one of the things that has happened in 2022 is the rise of AI in a big way. All those text to image,
Huge story.
yeah, all those text to image generators and ChatGPT and it's and Lambda. Is it sentient or not? That Google engineer that was fired because of this whole story. Like,
Forgot about that.
I think this year we're gonna see this on steroids. I think we're gonna see because here's the thing. Here's the thing that's really interesting with AI specifically, that because AI, I think even some engineer wrote. I saw an article the other day that AI will move faster than Moore's law. So Moore's law is like about how like the power of computer chips, processing power, basically doubles itself every year, something like that, right, Chris? Am I right on that?
The amount of transistors doubles.
The amount. Okay, so in AI, essentially they're saying this is gonna move faster than the way deep learning and machine learning works. How AI essentially is capable of learning, that capability of learning is going to advance faster than Moore's law. So we're going to see all kinds of phenomena. Now check this out. This is a I want to say funny one. It's not
Nice.
it's not so you have a guy driving a Tesla. He falls asleep. Apparently he fell asleep. The cops are chasing him, and for like 15 minutes the car is on autopilot evading the cops. So basically the guy's asleep and the car is in a chase.
They'll send a
with the
software
cops.
update that if you see sirens behind you, it has to.
I mean,
Yeah,
that just
they'll patch that.
it just makes you think. I mean, we're just doing a horizontal kind of overview 360 outlook on humanity today, right? Like, so as
It's like, yeah, we're just knocking on the door, opening a door. What's there?
what's
Could
inside?
Be some Tesla
Yeah,
high-speed
I mean,
chase. Could be.
there's an
something else
insurgence,
to talk about
some sort of insurgence in Brazil. There's a phenomena, weird, strange, scary phenomena of people dropping dead, and there's this, this kind of weird force of technology that is changing the world, and regulations have to keep up, and laws may have to change, and all kinds of things. Here's another one. Just think about that for a few seconds and tell me this will not change the world. In an upcoming court case, AI will tell defendant exactly what to say via earpiece. So imagine that instead of a lawyer, right? You have an earpiece that's basically like a smart chat GPT fine-tuned
Why do you need an
for
earpiece?
court
Why don't you
cases.
just have the lawyer stand there?
Why don't and take this to like
I mean,
warfare?
have the robot stand there.
Just have robots do everything, like just have them do everything. Just fight our battles.
Listen,
and also
On one hand, you're like you kind of reject it. You're like, no, wait a second. Like, let's give the lawyer a chance. Let's bring him in. Let's have him do his job. He worked hard. He went to school. He did all these things. Why should we throw that out? On the other hand, you're basically saying, well, actually, it makes sense to go that route, and that's really the crossroads that every industry that you approach with AI is kind of the same thing. Like we're going to cause some pain on one hand, but on the other hand, it just makes more sense to go AI. And I feel like that decision is just going to take over. Like you said,
you
the more
go-
industry that takes it is the faster it's
so
going to develop.
Imagine you put the thing in your ear and it tells you what to say, right?
Yeah.
So then the next step after that is don't even put it in your ear. Just give the AI a speaker and let it just say whatever it wants.
Hopefully they
next step
overhaul
up-
the judicial system before that even before it gets that far.
But if you play this out, then you have AI on both sides, and if you
Yeah.
play it out again,
Right.
the case can happen. Why
Much
does
faster.
It need to, this person
It can happen much
talks and
faster.
of water. It would happen instantaneously, and now
Yeah.
everything is happening like at the speed of light, like every
And,
process.
and wait a second. If the lawyer becomes AI, why not make the judge AI too? Why not make the jury AI? And that opens up a whole can of worms in terms of because if
Because that AI leads a little bit more to the left or a little bit more to the right, so we got to balance it with another AI that.
no, but I mean it's like so. it starts being very dystopian when you think about it. This is like this article that I showed you before. This is not just a theoretical headline. This is a company in San Francisco, and they want to make this. They're working to basically make this a new kind of a law firm or of some sort. Okay. Anyway,
No, listen, anything with AI is not theoretical anymore. So yeah. We can accept that, I think.
Okay,
if you want to go into the world of
go
if you want to go to the world of like climate and nature and stuff, there's just a couple things we can look at there. We can celebrate. Well, you know what?
You want to show something?
We can celebrate.
Today's
Yeah,
a
I
day
might
of
as well just
showing
show
our-
it. Just
show it.
just for you to
Today's a
look
day
at.
of sharing our show and tell today.
It's not really that fun or whatever, but we're celebrating Uganda's declaration to the end of the Ebola outbreak. Who even remembered that? That first of all, that Uganda
this
had an
is
Ebola
the
outbreak.
anniversary of the.
No, we're
Or
celebrating.
this is
It's
like
the-
actually ended today. So when did we hear about Ebola in Uganda? Was that like a long
it was a couple
time
of
ago?
years ago. They've been
Wow.
fighting apparently for a while.
Wow.
That is an
So-
interesting thing that adds to a
Ebola
360
is so
perspective.
old-fashioned.
Because that's what I'm saying. It is
Scary,
so
too.
it really, I didn't know this, and it's really interesting because you see that some parts of the world move at a certain pace and other parts of the world
Right.
move at a different pace. You know what I mean? Like, and there is
Yeah.
and it's all interconnected, and yet there are very dramatic changes in the pace of things in different parts of the world. So this whole network
Like
is-
inside an old watch, like certain gears are
Yeah.
spinning very fast.
There
and
you
then
go.
other ones
Yeah.
are moving at different speeds.
yeah,
It's like-
I like
exactly.
that example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay,
Guys,
so
where's this-
one
so-
more,
so
one
what's-
more. Okay, one more.
Okay.
One more.
Give 'em
Check-
one more. Give 'em
This
one more.
you have to finish with something optimistic. So
Actually, yeah.
Stanford scientists warned that civilization as we know it will end in the next few decades. Humanity is
All
very
right.
busily sitting on a limb that we're sawing off. Okay, so basically, this is the extinction rate apparently is about 100 times faster than anything that we have seen in Earth's history. We're essentially in the worst mass extinction since the dinosaurs. That's what scientists are trying to quantify right now. And the bottom line is that's what they're saying. Too many people, too much consumption, growth mania, that's what's going to happen. And it's just a headline in in some magazine, but they're basically saying in a few decades, the current civilization as we know it today, it's got a few decades left. That's it. That's done. And while this
I'm
is
still
happening,
alive in a few decades.
Okay.
It's like we really want to get our plaque up there along with that huge meteor that killed them all. It's like meteor 20 the Gen Y humanity. Two biggest killers.
Okay. Let's stop here. So how do we?
Wait, no, you said at the same time. You said at the same time. What?
I mean, it's just funny. I saw another headline the beginning of the week that the head of NASA is expressed concern that the Chinese might put astronauts on the moon and just occupy it and colonize it and take a portion of the moon and say this is ours, and that's going to start a new kind of war. And I'm just saying this is so funny. I'm sorry to call it funny, but it's funny that you have scientists saying, look, we're killing this place, we're killing the planet, we have a few decades left, and then at the same time you have the officials that are basically saying we have to get ready for war on the moon.
Now's our chance. Now's the time we move.
So where are we going is what you're getting when you do a 360 view like that. That's kind of the question you want to ask. Where is this headed? But we want to ask also, where is it coming from? What is really going on behind the scenes, right? Anyway, how do we go there? Yeah.
Okay, so I want to show you guys something. This is 6 maps of the state of Alabama.
I'm not seeing anything. Are you
Okay, I'm going to show you in a
don't see
minute.
anything.
I'm going to show you.
okay.
You want me to show you now?
This is
you're
no.
so
That's a
anxious.
preface. Okay, I thought
So
we were
it's-
always supposed to see.
It's 6 maps from
Yeah.
the state of Arizona. The first one is from the time of the dinosaurs, a
Okay.
coastline actually at the time of it, because things moved. It was a coastline at the time of the dinosaurs, all the way through a terrible time.
Oh, here we go.
Yo,
What's the
Okay,
what's the chat say?
we are live, but I think we are. I hope we are.
okay, yeah, because someone says they hear
think we are.
keyboard clicking.
I
Oh,
that should
guilty.
that should be Chris.
Oh, they hear Chris.
I think
okay.
we are live right now from the
Are we
internet.
live, everyone?
From the internet on my phone. I hope this will.
So glad I didn't start saying curses or something. That would have been bad for our marriage. Could have easily started.
We got all the cursing out right when the connection
Asaf, they
drops.
say they
so-
hear us, but they don't see
Oh,
us.
wait. Now they should see us. Now they should see us.
Okay, so we're gonna wait until everyone.
Oh man.
Okay.
This is really weird. This is really weird. It's probably because we were about to unlock the secrets of the universe. and
Usually happens when we're about
And
to
the
do
universe.
and someone in the universe, someone and my internet service provider didn't like it.
There's a whole
So,
group of angels who, said it was better not to create them. So it was probably those. The other ones were back on audio anyway. So
Yeah.
let's see.
Um,
Okay.
Where
okay,
even
we are
were
back.
we?
We are back
don't
with
even-
whoever's left.
Okay.
I
We
don't know.
see. Thank you. Julie says she
Yeah.
sees us, and Southern Sass sees us. Okay, so I'm not sure
Hey,
how
thanks for sticking around, you guys.
we're gonna get the momentum back up, but let's try. So, gentlemen, let me show you this again.
Yes, you were showing us
Do
something.
you see
That's
this
right.
map?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so top
Cretaceous.
left.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
hear
so
me
top
okay, by
left
the way?
is-
Do you hear me
Yes,
all
we
right?
hear everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Top left is the time of dinosaurs. Okay, this is
Okay, yeah.
this is a state called Alabama. It's on the east coast of the United States, and because of a coastline, you have great fertile soil that deposits
Yes.
there. So because you have great fertile soil, like the Nile River or the Tigris and the Euphrates or the Mississippi, you have farms. People like to plant food there because of farms. And because of farms, that's where there was a high percentage of slaves when slavery became a thing during a terrible time in the history of this country. And because of that, there is a high black population in that area. And because of that, I guess that influences, well, it's in the United States. It's statistically accurate to say that large black populations vote Democratic. So the bottom right, so the top left is showing a coastline in Alabama during the time of dinosaurs, and the bottom right is showing Democratic voting in the year 2020.
Wait, so this
And-
is
Oh, and it's
how
like the same line. It's like the
So this is how far apart
It's like
in
100
time?
million years. 100 million years, you could say.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So we're looking.
So,
Okay, so yeah. Use your mouse like this and go back to.
So this
to tell
right
us-
here
yeah,
is the coastline during the time of the dinosaurs.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So then this is a lot of very fertile soil. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Here, the red, the color distribution is the average farm size. So obviously the bigger farms are where that soil is,
Yeah.
which led to where the slaves were working, which led to where most of the black population in Alabama was in the year 2010, which led to a predominantly Democratic vote in the year 2020.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty
what?
clear.
What is this guy? What is this guy down? He says you can say this about. It's a comment here by boat.
It's not just
The second one, this
Alabama.
long
You can
one-
see it across the entire
Yeah.
South from Virginia to Arkansas. Okay, so what is
So similar
really
kind of things.
fascinating here, and I'm going to put I hope everybody got a chance. Let me see in the comments if everyone got a chance to see it. I don't know if they can see it yet. I hope so. I'm going to stop sharing. What is absolutely fascinating about looking at a map like this, and if we had more time and we were all hanging out for the weekend, we could bring so many examples like this where you see a vote happening in 2020 and you think that there's all these reasons and politicians and people shouting and people putting lawn signs and people making commercials and all of these things, and it all happened because of something that happened during the time of the dinosaurs. That's why the vote here is going to turn out the way it is, because of the dinosaurs. Because of something that happened back during the time of the dinosaurs. And who would think now?
Yeah,
when
but I
we-
need someone to blame right now.
when we look at what's going on in Brazil, and when we look at what's going on with the Teslas, and when we look at what's going on with Ebola, and when we look at what's going on with the COVID and the vaccine and all these things, we're, it's like Fauci this or Democrats this or Trump that, or this. We're looking, like, how far are we looking into these things? Like
Yeah.
5 seconds into it.
Right.
Are we looking maybe a
That's
hundred
really the
years?
question.
How deeply are we looking into what's going on to
Our
understand?
view, I mean, this example just shows you how our lens, the field of view, that's the word I was looking for, the field of view that we have on reality is so narrow, so limited, and so fragmented that we see, and it is totally malleable and shaped by headlines and social media and mainstream media and whatnot, that what you're getting from reality is so far from the vast, interconnected, interwoven system that spans, billions, 14 billion years if you go by the Big Bang Theory, and all of that system is hidden from you and all that you see is just this narrow slit of a moment of experience that is going to be overshadowed by hunger for something else in the next moment. We're
Right.
so limited and fragmented in our perception of reality.
It's that same branch you said
It's
we were
insane.
sawing off behind us. It's the same idea.
And that is also why we are clearly on a path of self-destruction.
I have all these ants. At this time of year, they come in from outside and they crawl across my kitchen counter. I don't know what I talked about it last year. I probably talked about it the year before and the year before because it's like a real science experiment right in front of me. But they're so busy figuring out what to do and how to carry. And I just take a paper towel with some soap and like end like 100 of them in like a second, and it's like that. It's like we're so busy running around, we have no idea what the hand of nature is doing to us at all.
We have no idea, and and that's where Kabbalah really steps in a big way, because we are, from a Kabbalistic perspective, Kabbalists have been saying for a couple thousand years already, almost 6,000 years, that we, all of us, all of mankind, past, present, and future, past generations and those that will come after us, and all of the planets and the stars and in the Milky Way galaxy and the plants and vegetation and animals, all of us, all of life is governed by a single program. That program is like a womb that is developing the embryo within it to a higher level of existence. And everything that we're battling with is ultimately in that program. It's governed by that program. One of the things that come to mind when you think about that example is how there are so many connections like that all throughout the universe, and we're just normally, we don't think about it.
We went
But
back to the dinosaurs 100 million years ago, but if we had a 4-hour show here, we may be able to take you back on that map,
yeah,
to the Big Bang and before, right?
yeah, I mean,
Because everything that's happening today.
everything that's happening today is echoes of the same program. I mean, again, just basic physics stuff, right? The everything that we see here is fine tuned to produce the current moment that we're experiencing right now. If there was no Big Bang, there was no expansion of the universe. If the strong nuclear force, wasn't exactly calibrated the way it is, atoms wouldn't hold together to each other. If it was too strong, atoms would not form. If it's too weak, atoms would fly apart. The gravitational force that holds planets and stars in place, if that was too strong, they were too close together. They wouldn't be able to form stable orbits or whatever. If they were too weak, then planets and stars would be too far apart. Then you would have no solar systems. The protons and electrons in the universe, they're approximately equal in their charge or something like that. Don't know the professional physics term for it. Neutral charge of the universe, something like that. If that wasn't the case, electromagnetism would behave differently. Electricity would behave differently. You'd have no complex molecules, no liquid water. So everything again, this is just off the top of my head, but everything in the universe is fine tuned and precisely calibrated. That's where a lot of the arguments between scientists about are we in a simulation, who created the universe, is it God, no, it's by chance, there's all kinds of sides to it, but the bottom line is what we know from basic physics is the universe is fine-tuned to allow for the emergence of life. And ultimately, this moment, us talking about it right now, including the power outage, internet outage we just had a couple minutes
You can't
ago,
say it's fine-tuned.
all
Don't
of
say
it,
it's fine-tuned.
all of it is exactly
That's very hard.
fine-tuned.
That's very hard to digest because we feel that I chose the coffee tab this morning.
Yeah.
I chose, to stay in bed an extra 5 minutes this morning. Like all of these endless decisions.
Of
we're
course
making.
you did.
Not
Of
just
course
me.
and I'm
There's-
choosing
there's-
to
there's
drink this
thousands of
water.
people.
I'm choosing to drink this water right
So you're
now.
telling
Of
me
course
that-
I am.
you're telling me
Except that neuroscientists already found that any choice that you think you do, you become conscious of it a couple milliseconds after it already happened in your brain. Right? So there is no free choice. We are now
I
going.
didn't know you were gonna make that
We're
turn.
going
I
hardcore.
didn't
Kabbalah.
know
I
we
was
were
I was
going
I was
there.
really okay. I was
I was
really
gonna recommend this show, but okay.
I was really irked. Irked is that a verb? Is that a verb?
Yeah,
Irked,
you can
like
use it as a verb.
the outage, the internet outage, just really shook me in a. We
So
we
you
don't have a lot of
realized that
time.
it was set into motion before the Big Bang.
Yeah, exactly.
happened
We have now less time, and what I want to tell people, I feel the urge to tell people, is that
Quickly before the show's over, that they don't have any free choice.
is that everything is governed. Kabbalists call this principle none else besides him. Him referring to the bestowing, giving, shaping force of creation that created a program in which we live. We exist in this program. We didn't create it. We know we didn't create the universe. We know we didn't create nature. We are created by nature, not the other way around. That's clear to any reasonable person that we didn't create ourselves or the laws of the universe. Kabbalists are saying this program that we are in is governing every move, every thought, every feeling.
I thought I voted Democrat, but actually some ocean from the
some
dinosaur
glacier
time.
from 160 million years ago determined the climate conditions that led to the ultimate political and social voting patterns. And
But it's interesting because it's like your brain can like kind of maybe the feeling part of your brain can kind of extend that far a little bit, be like, okay, I see how things kind of cascaded in such a way from 100 million years ago you can kind of see but it's also like if you try to take that same template and apply it to anything else that happened in life, I immediately am like, I'm over capacity. Like there's no way I'm going to solve that in my brain. One step to this step to that step to me.
Yes, but that too is part of the program. That's the whole magic here. Once we understand that we're in a program and that what we think of as choice, choosing between 200 different kinds of cereal in the supermarket or whatever it is else we choose in life, once we understand we are motivated and driven by all of these constants and precise calibrated values in the program, then we can start rising to a different level of choice.
Okay, hold on. We need this, but in a different language, because I don't know what it means to rise to a different level of choice. But I was with you.
I don't either.
I was really with you, by the way.
Okay. So we think.
Hold on. I just want to give me a second. I just want to give a little comic relief. Yetzi says that the Democratic mascot should be the dinosaur.
Nice.
At least in Alabama, right?
Nice.
No, okay. So
Nice
all right,
one. Okay, let me try a different route.
Hold
A
on,
different route.
I'm going to get your
Okay.
running start. My vote today was determined by an ocean during the dinosaur or some glacier or whatever that happened 100 million years ago. And not only that, it comes from billions of years before that. Okay, so if
Yeah.
that's the case, every decision I'm making today was
Right.
set into motion
Yes.
billions of
Including our
years or
conversation right now and every word
before
we
that.
say.
If all right, so then what am I doing here?
Okay. So we don't, Chris touched upon the key to this. We don't feel like that's the case. Here's the key. We don't feel like we are governed and 100% controlled. We don't feel that we are in a womb, and just like an embryo in a womb, we are being developed and shaped by opposite forces that are growing and developing us. We don't feel it. The reason we don't feel it is because our higher purpose, the higher purpose of the human being, the higher purpose of human consciousness is to discover that. That's the whole point. The program that governs all of life, all of evolution, all of reality, and all of what we think of as our free choice, that program also deliberately conceals itself from us. Important concept in Kabbalah: deliberate, purposeful concealment. Why? Because that allows us to consciously discover the program, and our highest goal, our purpose, the purpose of human existence, is to get to the point where, how would you define that? how would you
To get to the
say
point?
that?
To what point? Oh, that's what you're asking us. To what point? So
Yeah.
wait,
What?
you're asking us to get to a certain point to where we're okay with not having any free choice?
No,
We
I'm
agree to the no free choice?
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, I was gonna take it to a deeper place, but I don't know
I
if
want to
you
go
guys
deep. I
are.
want to. That's what I pay for. So the deeper you go, the happier I am.
That's what you think.
No, look,
No, go. Don't hold back.
talking about us having no free choice and all that is a very difficult conversation to have. It's just that the internet outage urged me to say it like that. But this is it's a difficult conversation to have. We have an immediate
No, Dewey
rejection to
and
that
Mary
idea.
and Patricia and Southern South. Everyone is saying go. Deeper. Keep going.
The okay, but you have to complete me and add another angle to it if it's too the we have no free choice. Nothing. We are NPCs, like non-player character in a game. That is essentially what every person, most people in the world, how they live their life. They just live it. And you say, yeah, but I choose this and I choose that, and now I'm going to choose apples instead of bananas, and now I chose to take this pill or that pill for my headache and so forth. Just like in a game, when you play GTA or whatever it is, you make choices. You can choose this car or that car. You can go to this street or that street in the game, but everything's governed by the code. You're not really choosing anything. You're choosing your choice is not changing anything, and you're still bound by the laws
But
of
if I
the
try,
program.
but if I try and play the game,
Yeah.
or my kid tries to play the game, I'm going to make a fool of myself, and he's going to know how to navigate around. So even
Sure,
though
but
the whole thing is pre-programmed, there is different outcomes that you can have.
yes. That
Well,
that
otherwise you don't
level-
have the illusion of free choice if you're
Yes.
if you're talking about it like that.
But both of you and your son are players in a game that was set for you, and in which the choices are also the selection of choices, let's say, are also set for you. So that is not something that Kabbalists consider choice at all. And
That's the point. That's the key. What is actual choice? That's kind of the
so
real
choice
question.
begins when we start asking, what's the purpose of all of this? when we start asking what is the purpose of the whole thing, what's the meaning of life in this experience of this material reality, when we begin to ask ourselves that question, that's where we can begin to rise above this level of the program and begin to identify the purpose of the program. And the purpose of the program, from a Kabbalist's, from how Kabbalists describe their attainment, is that we become completely integrated to the point that we fully sympathize with the designer behind the program, with the intention of the program, that we become completely and totally integrated with it as if we were one. Kabbalists call that state adhesion. That now,
So
think about what that means. Yeah, go.
So instead of me thinking all day long that the purpose of my life is, and anyway, I need to pay my bills and work and, go snowboarding and all these things. But instead of me thinking that this is the purpose of my life, when I start to feel that I am an atom in a system with all the other atoms, now I start to have a relationship with the governing. My choice is constantly to connect with that huge governing force of the
Nice.
whole system.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. So instead of an atom, we have the opportunity to become the system. Because
whole thing.
exactly, because we begin to sympathize with the intelligence of the program itself, which is found where? In the connections between all that is happening, all that exists, all of the system, the still, vegetative, animate, speaking, all of reality. There is a program that runs through the connections between everything that happens. That program is calling us to get there.
So why am I?
But to
why am
get
I
there, you
not-
have to ask, what's the purpose of the life within the atom that I'm in? You have to rise above that. You have to get out of that.
So why am I not suffering or seeing suffering then when I'm connected to that, even though parts of the system seem to be breaking down or suffering or fighting?
There is. I don't think I got the angle. What do you mean?
Why is it a better perception when I change to that?
Oh, so let's think about what that means. So for us, I would put like for us, life means 100 years, let's say. Let's say some people will live. For us, life means
Yeah, you have to change that saying.
Yeah, that's going to change to a little bit more. But let's say for us, life means 100 years or so of living in a body that not only it's going to die, but from the moment it's born, it's just gradually decomposing and disintegrating and causing problems and sickness and so forth. And we live in this very narrow, fragmented slit through which we perceive reality. We don't know why things happen to us, how they happen, what is our what's going to happen in the next moment. And most of the time, we're also in great conflict with the other pieces. So we have a limited perception, a limited
It all feels
time.
like it feels like you're constantly going against something too.
Yeah,
It's like you're
yeah.
constantly fighting against something,
Right.
like time or this, or it's
Yeah.
always a kind of a war, a battle from day
Yeah,
one.
it's a conflict. Life is a constant conflict. It is limited perception, and it is limited fulfillment. We always have to keep chasing the next pleasure, and then we are empty, and then we chase it again, and then we're empty again. We're talking about rising to such an existence that is above time, above space, above the body, above this constant chase towards pleasure, because we will be immersed in pleasure. We will become the quality that gives pleasure. That kind of existence is like comparing an ant to a human. It's like we can't even fathom how it's like to when you cut your nails, you don't feel like you're killing something. When you cut your hair, you don't feel like, why? Because it's the lower level of existence. It's the vegetative level compared to your animate level. The speaking level, that Kabbalists refer to as the true realization of the human level of existence, is when we can speak to the program. We can speak to the system, and in fact, we even take the reins onto ourselves. We assume the role of the system. This is called becoming like the creator. Becoming, because we and the system, we and the program become so integrated, so bonded, that we become it. Our consciousness merges with this greater acting intelligence. Baal Sulam calls it the acting mind of creation. That's what we're about, where we're about to go. So this little choices that we have here. Yeah.
If you want to hear more about that, you'll have to tune in next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Oh man.
Yes. And maybe try a Kabbalah course if you're new here and you don't know about Kabbalah, and you want to start actually applying this method onto yourself and developing this inner technology of the mind and heart to perceive the greater program that runs life. It's worthwhile. Give it a shot if you're new here and if you're interested. Yeah. Kabbalah, there's a link to it in the description. You'll find a link.
We are very fortunate that we have the opportunity to escape the endless meaninglessness, the depression, the suffering that it seems like is all around us, even really close to us. And it's not something that, you heard something here in the show, and you can't base a method off of one sentence or even 1 hour of something you heard on one day. This is a whole process of exploring the whole structure of reality and how we come to this perfect attainment of this, and literally in our lives, not in some abstract way, but literally to attain this in our lives. And that's what this is all about. Our show right here is a little taste of that on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. We are the lucky ones who get to know about this, get to talk about this. We're so happy that everybody is here with us from all around the world. Thank you all, and thank you guys, and we will see you next week, right?
I guess, yeah, next Thursday.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Wake up! Fill every cup and raise them higher. Wake up! In gratitude for what's to come. Wake up! And feel the friends burning desire. Wake up! Run out to the altitude of love. Wake up! We got to find a new way to love. We're calling out together. We've been trying to fix our way. Please help us change our nature. We want to live in love and unity. We're calling out together. We've been trying to fix our way. Help us change our nature. We want to live in love and unity.